Welcome to the Palace of Megapixels. This is Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo. I'm your host, Stephen White, and with me is my co-host, Todd Stark.
That sounded hard to get out.
It was. It's a little hard because I also have to say, and my co-host, Laceya Finley.
Hello, Laceya.
Oh, hello. Oh, yeah.
So how is everyone
today?
I'm glad it's Friday.
Doing good.
Yeah, Friday is...
I can actually say that for the first time in a while.
Did you really?
Nice.
Hey, I don't have to work on a Friday. That's always a win. I've
That's
heard
true.
people enjoy
Always.
Fridays for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
Any day you don't have to work is a win.
Yeah, I wish there were Fridays that I didn't have to work. Today would have been one of those days. You know, I would have... There are other things I would have rather have done today other than work.
Me too. My knees hurt. I would have rather have iced my knees all day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not recovered from Walt Disney World. There's too much concrete there.
I can understand.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not used to it.
God. I mean, like, I'm used to walking, but that's a lot of freaking walking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I felt like I was at PAX again. But then I had 4 more days after that. Yeah. I need physical therapy.
PAX wasn't that bad.
No. But, there's a lot of walking.
Yeah,
By the
there
third
was.
day, your feet hurt.
There was. And did it not feel good to actually be exhausted? At the end of the day, it wasn't like I can't stand up, but you hit the bed and you just went to sleep. That kind of exhaustion.
Yeah, there's just something about like how your legs all feel too, because they're starting to relax and the bed just feels so much more comfy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It was just so nice to hit the bed and just, I was out.
That's how I felt every night. Yeah.
So, what have we been playing? Lace, what have you been playing?
Today I started Dead Cells for the first time.
Oh.
Love that game.
Holy crap.
It's great.
I think it's going to be one of those games I love to hate, Like, I feel like I've still yet to beat an elite. So I played it today and I'd get to the elite and then die and have to start everything all over again. But I unlocked some stuff. It's a lot of fun. Finally learning to just roll constantly. Although I found out you have to roll towards, not away. Rolling away doesn't help you. No, it still hits you. So you have to roll forward. And I'm used to running away. So that's going to take some practice. It gets too much and I run away is usually what happens for me. But it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
I'm going to try it again tomorrow.
Yeah,
Hopefully
I definitely
get
need to get my hand in on it because I would like to try it out. It seems like it would be a fun game. Mm-hmm. You been playing anything else, or was that it?
It's a gorgeous game too. Well, I actually just finished Shadow of the Tomb Raider 2.
Okay.
Which I know
we'll be talking about that a little later.
Yep, and that's pretty much been my week as far as games so far. Finally beat that one. Started to Dead Cells today.
Okay.
Getting a little headway on the backlog.
Good job.
Hey, I did that for a while. Then I hit Spider-Man, and I kind of, vacation hit, and I slowed down.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to assume Spider-Man's what you've been playing?
That's all I've played, Spider-Man.
Good.
Yeah, I just got, like I was telling you earlier, very limited time with it this week, but I got to the part where, I guess, I ain't going to say it.
Okay.
Maybe, Norman Osborn, he's in it, finally.
Well, I think everyone saw that in trailers, so I think we're good.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't go do a spoiler
you're
and
good.
then announce it.
Yeah. I think you're good on spoilers.
Yeah, that's all I've been doing. Love the game. It's great. What about you?
I've been playing King's Quest some more. I got through episodes 1 through 4. I don't think I'd finished 1 since last week. Nice. All I've got is episode 5 left, which I've been waiting to sit down to take the time to play it, because it's usually like any other narrative-driven game. It's about 2 to 3 hours. So I wanted to kind of carve out that time for that last episode. But in that time that I wasn't playing that, I was playing Just Cause 3, trying to get started on that. And I don't really feel like I've gotten to a groove yet, but I'm I'm feeling it a little bit more time. If I could spend a good solid weekend day, like a Saturday or Sunday on it,
Yeah.
I would get into a groove.
I like that game.
So it's been pretty fun. So I'm all right with it. All right, you guys ready for some news?
Yeah. Yeah, is there a lot of news this week?
Well, I think the biggest news is Telltale.
Yeah.
Yep. I think
R.I.P.
that's going to be big for a while.
Because obviously,
Developments.
we've had, last week we kind of touched on it. We didn't really go into great detail because there wasn't a lot to know about it.
Right.
But all this week has been nothing but Telltale. So obviously, that's what the news cycle has practically been. But if you want to look at it with absolute scrutiny, trying to piece together what happens, let's look at what facts we do have. Now, the main report seems to be that Telltale was on the cusp of closing a deal that would have actually supported the company on a financial level for quite a while.
Right.
However, the financial backer that they had in this deal pulled out at the very last minute, and to my knowledge, the name has not clearly been stated like this was the company. But many reports have said that it was Lionsgate Entertainment.
Right.
So they may have been getting licenses from them to make into games, and perhaps that's how that deal was working. Again, don't know. I'm just kind of speculating at this point. But that's the rumor, the popular rumor at this point is it was Lionsgate. Now, last
I feel
week...
like I heard something about that.
Yeah, and I'm very curious because I can't think of anything Lionsgate has that would be a property that would really work in this venue. Nothing stands out.
Well, yeah, nothing that I can think of. Like, I can think of Lionsgate Games.
Yeah.
If I'm not getting them confused with ananother one.
Could be. I don't know.
I know I have some. I'm looking. I know none of you guys can see that, but I'm looking at all of my games on the wall going, which one is I know?
And you might actually be right because, again, part of that report was that they were trying to maintain more on the side of entertainment and film, and they didn't really want to go down the games route or any farther. So maybe they have. I don't know. Again, it's all speculation on my end that I know of. But anyway, we didn't go into great detail about it as all this kind of happened. But as the deal fell through, according to other reports given by employees, people who had been fired, they were told they were being laid off and had about 30 minutes to get out.
Wow.
That's a lot of the reports seem to say that's pretty spot on. And furthermore, they were given no warning beforehand, no severance packages, and even in the words of Telltale's own co-founder about what happened, no choice. It was just, you're done.
And they always give you choices in games.
Yeah. How ironic. Now, for many of these employees, this was not something they could just take in stride, as many of them had to live paycheck to paycheck, which, I'll be honest with you, it was insane to me to think about. Because you think about these jobs, and I would assume they are good paying jobs, and they very well could be. They could be making more money than all of us. However, what I didn't take into account is where they live,
right,
cost of living there, and things like that kind of come into play. So when my initial reaction was like, wow, what? Are you kidding me? And then you put that other factor into it, it's like, oh, all right, I can kind of see that. Because it same way around here, just never know. But the gaming community actually reached out to a lot of these former employees, and they were hoping to find them jobs, get them back on their feet. However, one employee took it a step further and actually filed a class action lawsuit against the company, stating that their actions violated California labor laws. And when you're looking into said laws, I actually feel like he has a leg to stand on.
Yeah.
Because the Federal Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification Act clearly states that businesses with a minimum of 100 full-time workers must notify employees 60 days in advance of any closing or mass layoff, which would qualify as either a reduction in 50 or more employees within a 30-day period if that total is at least a third of the workforce, or any layoff of 500 or more employees. Now, based on the reports, Telltale laid off somewhere between 250 to 275. But that number's kind of fluctuated a little bit. And since no advance notice was provided, The company, if found in violation of this act, which I cannot imagine they would not be,
No, they are.
would have to provide each employee full salary and benefits for 60 days following their termination.
Damn.
So I think they're going to be in a lot more hot water doing what they did versus just giving people severance. But again, I understand they had no money. But still, that's a...
Yeah, I guess it still boils down to one of those things. If they did win it and they don't have the money, where are you still going to get it from?
But they're going to have to start liquidating something.
I'm not saying don't do it. It's just, how long would it take for all of that to get paid out, especially for 250 people?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. But off the back of this story, I think one question a lot of people have had is, what is the fate of the final season of The Walking Dead?
I know.
This week, Telltale actually removed the game from the digital storefront, saying that they are in the process of trying to figure out how to get the game finished, and then they'll reinstate it once that has been figured out. And obviously, I feel like that kind of needs to happen, or a refund needs to happen for anybody who put down the money on a season pass, because I was one of those people who thought about it. I was going to.
Yeah.
And then I didn't. And maybe I didn't help with the situation Telltale's going through. I'm sorry.
No,
but
you had nothing to do with it.
I'm the same way, though, with episodic games like that, because I know you guys were talking about it last week, that I like to binge it just a little bit.
Yeah,
so I tend to buy these types of seasons when we're at least 3 or 4 episodes in, if not when it's completely done. So I can sit down and just play it at my own leisure. So you're right. Like, maybe we all loved it, but kind of contributed by not
yeah, for sure.
putting the money up front. I don't know.
But if you're promising...
it sounds like some other things must have been mishandled really badly, though, for the whole thing to go down the way that it did. But
Oh, yeah, exactly. And I would say that if you're going to offer a season pass for something like this, you better have a full game ready to go.
Right.
Do not offer up a season pass with an incomplete game. That's what kind of boggled my mind. I know they usually kind of work on them, but I kind of feel like that's the whole purpose of a season pass, is this is going to be there, and you are pre-purchasing it for its full completion when it's there. This should never have been sold as an incomplete game.
Right.
Ever. So, and a lot of, there were actually people online, and I don't know if any of you saw this, but you had people online saying, well, Telltale ought to give it to us for free since they screwed us out of it. And it's like, yeah, but don't you understand how this works? You know, people have to get paid to make this. And I understand they kind of did people wrong, but getting it for free is not going to get it to you at all.
Well, that's the thing I read, that the
and
people
that's
that
still
are going to
punishing the
finish
people
it,
who are working on it.
Yeah.
the people that are going to finish it aren't even the people that started it.
Which doesn't make any sense either.
So, and the company, Telltale's the company is the way I was understanding it. So they're going to keep all the money, but I bet if they do, now they're going to have to they're going to have to, distribute it, to the people that they laid off now, is what I'm guessing, if that lawsuit goes through.
I don't know. I'm kind of curious as to how this is going to play out, because if anybody is the victim here, it's all the employees that got laid off.
Oh, yeah.
Telltale screwed up.
Right.
They made a huge mistake, and they're paying for it. But the fact that the employees have to pay for it too, that's absolutely ridiculous. They shouldn't have to pay for it. They should have had their shit together and not working them like dogs, working endless hours to get a game out, and you can't pay them decent. You can't do them right.
Right. Like, I don't understand the season pass. Like, I understand it's kind of like a pre-order, but like, to keep yourself out of hot water, why don't you just offer it episode by episode and not a season pass? That way, if you don't come out with it, then you're not screwed. You just paid for that episode.
Which still, I mean, even if they did it that way, I'd still want to see the ending of this.
But I wouldn't feel as screwed if I paid $25.
For sure.
And it's not
No,
coming
absolutely.
out.
My point. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how this goes down, because this is not over. We're going to be talking about this for weeks to come, I have no doubt.
Well, I give us one
I'm
more week,
sure.
and then we're talking about other stuff.
Okay. It'll keep coming
Until
up.
the new big
you know
thing
that.
pops up.
Let's get into some quickets.
Quickets.
Because we got a few interesting little bits. Sony confirmed that they have opened a beta for crossplay, starting with Fortnite, and they are going to ensure that the crossplay of all titles, is best played on their console because they're still sticking to that. They're the best place to play.
They are.
Now, this has also...
Hey, stand by your product, man.
Yeah. I mean, they're they're sticking to their guns. And now, this has also unlocked accounts for Fortnite, so sooner or later, users are actually going to be able to merge their accounts.
That's good.
So, I'm sure everyone who plays Fortnite is happy. I don't care.
I don't care either, but I mean, I guess it's a thing. They finally answered everybody.
They did. And how hard?
Fine, kids.
It was. I mean, why couldn't they have just done this sooner? Why couldn't they just be like, hey?
I think they were hoping it blew over because,
I saw a headline that read, Fortnite is so powerful it made Sony cave, and I was like, you're kind of pushing it there, buddy.
Yeah, because it's not Fortnite, it's the players themselves, because, you don't want to lose anybody.
Yeah. So, but Lace is going to be playing Fortnite now.
Oh, yeah, all the time. I was just waiting for it,
Yeah, this was her only holdout, is waiting for it to become crossplay with everybody.
Waiting for the crossplay.
This is the first time I've ever rooted for Call of Duty. Like, I hope that blackout thing, just wrecks Fortnite.
Well, we'll see.
It's good. Like,
I mean, it's been getting good reviews.
Yeah.
I've not seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I played it one time.
I believe Ninja played it for a little bit. Just going to throw that out there.
Perhaps he did.
Perhaps. I'm going to say yes.
I do believe I saw it on his YouTube, actually, and I was like, he's cheating on his Battle Royale. I bet Black Ops is like, yes. Or whichever version of it is.
I pre-ordered it just because.
Just because. Now, while we're on the subject of Sony, they are also in the process of shutting down online servers for PS3 games like the PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale game.
Oh, damn. I was going to play that tonight.
Yeah, and now you can't. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you could, but not with your friends.
Everybody should get on. That way they can't shut it down.
It's not going to happen.
I
They
don't
did it
think
on
that's how
Warhawk.
it works. You'll just be playing and like, why is it gone?
What happened? And Sony also said that there will not be a PlayStation experience this year.
Yeah. I wonder what that means.
Well, I mean, you look at their E3 show, I could probably give you a few guesses.
Well, I don't really know what to think because I just seen it, but I feel like they're going to change that out for a big announcement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, say, in February.
Perhaps. We'll see. You never know.
You never know. It's what they did with PS4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
I mean, the rumor mill about the next gen's been going around for a while now.
Right.
So
It has.
somebody's pulling at a thread. I feel like we're close, within a year of hearing about it at least, anyway.
Yeah, that's true. So, we'll just have to wait and see.
We will.
Now, some of the U.S. voice cast for Kingdom Hearts 3 has been announced. Are you excited at all?
No.
Jesus. What kind of monster are you?
I've never played one of those games, and I'm just not going to play it.
Well, for those people, I see you. You're cringing.
I haven't either. I'm sorry.
Does she
Okay.
like
No, she's never played it either.
Yeah.
I
We're on the same
haven't,
team,
no.
Laceya.
Okay, so let me just kind of break it down to you. If you're a fan of Disney movies, you're a fan of games, you like to see voice casts return. You don't want to hear your favorite character bastardized in some way,
Maybe. I
right?
do.
Unless you can get a better voice, but usually it's just it's never better, you know. But what I'm trying to say is that Donald and Goofy are back.
Is Josh Gad going to do Olaf?
Josh Gad is in the game, along with Kristen Bell and the rest of the Frozen cast.
Olaf is all I cared about.
The Tangled cast is in there. Ham and Rex from Toy Story, John Ratzenberg and Wallace Shawn are going to be in the game.
Great roller coaster,
I'm
by the
still
way.
holding out. Still holding out that Tom Hanks and Tim Allen will come back and do Woody and Buzz.
No,
I
they're
feel
not
like
gonna
you could easily persuade those two.
I don't
least
know.
Tom Hanks
Hanks is
for
doing
sure.
Mr. Rogers.
That's true. But see, Tom Hanks has done this thing before where if he didn't come back, he had his brother do it, and his brother's kind of sounds close to him. Like you can kind of tell, but
It's like a bootleg.
yeah,
Tom.
bootleg Tom Hanks.
Sneaky. I didn't even know this.
Yeah.
It just blew my mind. But that's so sneaky.
It is.
Does he still get titled as he doesn't get
No,
say-
they
they
just
say
kind of
Mr. Hanks.
under the
He
radar.
at least lets his
They
brother
say
have
Mr.
it.
Hanks.
Like,
Yeah.
Mr.
Okay.
Hanks and Woody.
But
And
I think he's only done it once or twice. I don't think he's done it all the time. But don't hold me to that. But I'd love to see him come back and do that in this game since they're going to be on the forefront. And then we also have the guy Tate Donovan who played Hercules in the 90s Disney Hercules movie. He's going to be coming back, which I would hope at that point that means James Woods is also coming back as Hades.
oh, he has to be Hades.
I mean, he has to come back. And then finally, Haley Joel Osment is returning as Sora. So I'm excited about that. No? Okay. I mean, I was hoping there'd be a little bit more hype, but it's fine. It's fine.
It's Kingdom
sorry,
Hearts.
I'm
fine.
sorry.
No,
I'll
it's
agree
fine.
with
You have to
the
be
first two.
Japanese.
It's fine. We're going to move on. Lucasfilm announced that there was a new Star Wars VR game coming for the Oculus called Vader Immortal.
I've seen that. Now that kind of piqued my interest.
But I don't know. Did anyone get to see anything beyond just the title?
No. I just hate this just for Oculus.
Yeah. Well, for now, we don't know.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be just for Oculus. If it's any good, they'll be
You
like,
never
hey,
know.
we gotta lock that
Well,
down.
or maybe just PC, but like,
Yeah.
I don't think it'll just be always Oculus, but who knows?
You never know. I mean, as long as there's $1 to be made, Disney will be on it.
And they got the money to do it, so.
Speaking of Disney, did you see where they said Spider-Man was gonna be like the Iron Man for the video games?
Well, I mean, it would make sense.
Yeah. But that's good that they're gonna kind of mix it all together.
Mm-hmm.
I like that idea.
I do too. There was a story trailer released for the game Thronebreaker, which is a spin-off of the Witcher series. Anybody excited about that? Maybe.
I was interested in that. I have to do more research. I remember hearing about it over the last day or so, and I haven't
Who's
looked into it more than that.
Who's the main character?
I don't know. I mean, what do we know about this game? Is it going to be like the Witcher games, or is it going to be something different?
I think it's just gonna be set in that universe, maybe.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but I mean, is it going to be like a Witcher game, or are they going to do something completely different within the Witcher
Like,
universe?
do you mean
It's
like
just
an
gonna be
RPG or a different kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
Because even the way they kind of showed it in the trailer, it almost made you think that it was going to be a story-based Telltale-like game.
It's just gonna be Gwent. You go. It's like a Gwent tournament.
No.
You play Gwent
So-
and you answer questions in between.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't get any details. I just watched it and I was like, okay.
Okay, that's a thing now. Yeah.
We'll look into it later.
I hope they don't start getting too big and doing too many things.
This is only 2 things so far.
Yeah, but Cyberpunk 2077 is pretty big.
Which
I know.
I'm excited for.
But we
I am
don't know
too.
how big this will be. This could just be some little side thing they're doing.
Yeah, I know.
So
Hey,
we
This
don't
might
know.
be a little side screw up they're doing.
We'll see.
I know, but I don't want to see. I want to see them do good every time.
All right, how about this? The director of Days Gone said that the story of the game compares to the film 28 Days Later.
Love that idea. Freaking love it, dude. I'm excited for that game.
I mean, we saw the running zombie thing, so
Yes.
that was already kind of a hint.
Yeah. They're freakers and they're alive, so that means they can be cured. So that's all I'm saying.
Is that right?
Yeah. So I'm saying they could play into the game. It's going to be a great game.
Okay.
Did you see the new trailer? Like everything looks just a little bit better.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. You should check it out.
I will at some point.
You're not, see?
Yeah. See, just like you're
Are
not
you doing
excited.
it because I didn't like Kingdom Hearts 3? Is this why you're doing it?
No, it's the zombie thing, man. There's
What's
just
wrong
such
with
a-
that?
I don't. It's just
If
an
a zombie is in the vicinity, I love it.
There, it's just getting too much for me anymore. You know, I watch Walking Dead with kind of contempt now,
Oh, nope,
just going,
nope.
come
No.
on. And don't get me wrong. All right, look, what I'm referring to right now is Fear the Walking Dead, okay?
Okay, you Fear the Walking Dead, yes, I can see that.
But I love some of the characters there.
Yeah.
It's just the way the story's going. I'm just like, I don't care. Why am I still watching this?
Well, they
but I
killed
love
Travis.
the characters. You know, there are just certain characters I really do enjoy.
Yeah.
And I would hate to say that I want some of the original ones to go away in favor of some of these new ones they brought in. But I'm kind of there. I'm just like, you know, let these two kind of get forefront.
Do you like the cowboy?
I do.
I do too.
I
I
love
like him from the
Garrett
moment
Dillahunt, man.
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal actor. And if he was listening to this, I would continue to sing his praises, but I'm not going to.
What about Morgan? You like him being there?
At times.
Morgan would have been done in his first time when they shot him with an AK in the knee. He was done right then. He would have died.
Just, I don't know. The whole zombie thing is just becoming...
No, don't you ever say that.
I will say it. Okay, I'm going to move on. Nintendo slammed down another one of their cease and desists, that they normally do with video games. But this time, they did it to a Tokyo attraction that I actually believe we talked about at some point on the show.
Let's hear it.
It's called the Mari Car, and it's essentially a live-action version of Mario Kart.
Okay, I do remember that.
I do recall that too. So apparently they caught wind of it and said, no, this is ours. You can't do it.
Well, then they should do that to every kart game.
Well, because they added the Mario Kart flair, throwing stuff and traps and whatnot.
Yeah, but every one of them does that.
Apparently not like that.
I think Mari Car is where it got him in trouble.
Maybe.
Maybe drew a little bit too much attention to yourself there.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
It's almost Mario Kart. It's just missing 2 letters.
But their IP has been violated and they want it stopped. No more.
Call it something besides Mari Car and then it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I think it could still work. Just tweak it somehow. Konami announced Castlevania Requiem. This is a digital-only collection of 2 classic games in the series, Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night.
Symphony of the Night was great.
I've heard that. I've never
It
got
was
to
really
play
good.
it, so I might
Well,
have
there's
to
your
look into
chance.
this.
It's totally worth playing.
Now, this game will release on October 26th, exclusively for the PS4 for around... I almost got choked up.
You
$19.99. It just excited me.
Got to it, man.
Because $19.99 is a good price for that.
But yeah, $19.99, and if that's not enough Castlevania for your buck that day, the animated series returns on Netflix that
There's
very
zombies
day.
in it. You don't like it?
It's not all about zombies, man.
I'm just saying.
There's
zombies
vampires, there's Dracula, there's
Right.
Alucard,
Zombies.
werewolves.
Zombies.
It's not a zombie show. See, I'm just getting all choked up again. Look what you've done.
I can't help it. I'm passionate about zombies.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm not. Not anymore.
Stop.
Development for Friday the 13th, the game has actually been handed over to a new developer, Black Tower Studios. They are taking over for Ilphonic, but they actually worked with them for about a year now, doing the content and the maps and stuff like that. But I don't know if we brought this up last week, but they actually set in dedicated servers into the game now. So.
I'm going to find out pretty soon.
Good, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's coming on the PlayStation Plus, right?
That's right.
Yes. Thank God.
So see, if you don't have it on the play, it's free now, and then you can play with me now, Lace.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
yay! People can play with me now.
Forgot about it. I didn't know that they were still doing anything more with it, though. I thought it was just a canned idea at this point because of the lawsuits and everything.
Yeah, but I'm still holding out that something good will come of it.
Things
at some
get
point.
settled all the time.
Because that man has no leg to stand on as far as I'm concerned. That's my personal opinion, but lawsuits for some reason take forever.
Well,
Yep.
I don't understand that. So
probably because we're a pretty sue-happy country, but what do I know?
Mm-hmm.
It's a little hard to
big
probably go
backlog.
through them all and give them their fair shake.
It's exactly the same with video games.
All right. Lauren S. Hissrich. I'm just going to say that's right. She was the showrunner for the upcoming Netflix series for The Witcher.
Right?
She actually came back on Twitter and showcased the season finale script, pretty much saying, I told you that's what I was going to do, and I did it. So
She
good
did.
for her. She's got it all written out.
Nice.
She's ready.
She's ready to go.
And this apparently seems to be a reality now, which I guess I'm starting to get a little excited for. The film adaptation of Monster Hunter actually has 2 cast members now. And that is T.I. Harris, who I think is a rapper, but he's also been in Ant-Man.
Been a bunch of stuff. Yeah, Ant-Man.
Okay.
Well, that's
Most
the
recent.
most recent thing I can think of off the top of my head. And classy man Ron Perlman.
Yeah. He's perfect for that.
So I'm in. I mean, you've kind of sold me right there. So
And then the rest are monsters.
I'm kind of hoping this won't be a shitty video game movie.
I think it will be.
Look, all you have to do is focus on the simple. This is a Mortal Kombat situation, okay? You don't have much of a plot, but you do have.
That's what I was just gonna ask. Like, what's her story?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
you can make up anything. I mean, if you take a look at the running narrative through most of the games, there's always one big monster who's messing it up for everybody. Like, he's the main focus. Mm-hmm. So when you go after that and you take care of it, there's always another problem underlying that problem. So that's a theme. There's one main monster you're focused on, then there's another one to back it up in the end and screw it all up. So that's your plot. Just pick 2 monsters, make it happen, make 2 new ones. And then I just made Capcom some money. Use that as DLC for Monster Hunter World. You can download the 2 monsters from the movie in the game and get people to come back.
Nah, I want to download Ron Perlman.
Yeah, that too.
And that too.
I want that DLC. Mm-hmm. I'll have go to the hunt.
You don't want to be T.I.?
To be completely honest with you, I have no idea who that is.
He was an Ant-Man.
He was an Ant-Man, you say?
Yeah.
Just say that zombies make everything better.
I know a lot of people that I don't necessarily know who they are. I'll look.
Okay. T.I. Harris. Again, he may have been in some other movies. I only know him from Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He does look familiar.
He was in.
I know that guy.
I think American Gangster.
I just don't think I knew his real name.
Okay.
Okay, so he looks familiar, but sure.
Sure. Yeah. We don't know who he's playing, but sure. No offense to the guy. He may be all right. I don't know. And the last thing I have here, and I thought this was worth bringing up because we promoted this last year. Bethesda is promoting the 12 Days of Indie this year.
That's awesome.
That is huge.
That is huge.
That is so huge.
Yeah. So
huge congratulations to the 12 Days of Indie and the drastic measure. They put in so much love, time, and effort into this thing, and it's really paying off bigger and bigger every year for them. It's
absolutely.
Really
I really hope we can get them on the show again this year around that time. Mm-hmm. Promote it because it's a great cause. If you don't remember what it is, go look it up. Called the 12 Days of Indie on Twitter, I guess, and there are other places you can check it out as well. Do yourself a favor and kind of get in on this early. So hopefully we'll get more information as it comes along, and we'll pass it along to you.
That's how we do it.
That's how we do it. What do we got? We got, this is a story that I thought was worth bringing up. Might bring the room down a little bit, but it's fine. It's fine.
Bring the room down a little bit?
Yeah.
You said zombies are not good in games anymore.
Well, we're not talking about zombies. Hell with zombies right now. I got something else I need to bring up, okay? There was a young man by the name of Chris Taylor who had his wish fulfilled last week thanks to the Make-A-Wish Foundation and Nintendo. He wanted nothing more than to try out Super Smash Bros. Ultimate before succumbing to his cancer, something he was afraid was going to happen at any moment. But fortunately, Nintendo caught wind of this request and brought the game directly to his home so he could play it with his family.
Nice.
And he got to play it. He got to enjoy it. But days later, he passed away at 21.
Man.
But what I would like to say is not only would I like to send our condolences and well wishes to his family, but tell me that's not one of the great wonders of the world, is that he got his wish.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I know it may seem ridiculous to some people, but that's all he wanted. He knew it was going to happen. It was an inevitable situation, and he wanted this one thing, and he got it. And it's like, with that, I can die peacefully, and he did.
Yep.
And it's beautiful to me.
It's just awesome that they even did it.
Yeah, for sure. Because, we just talked about how Nintendo can be real dickheads with Mario Kart.
They all can be.
But they can also have a huge heart. And, I don't want to rag on them too hard. But, no, I just thought this was worth...
There's probably a big difference between thinking someone's stealing your property,
Yeah.
Instead of giving back to a longtime fan. It's really great to hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
My condolences as well.
So, sorry I had to do that, but I felt it was worth bringing up. It was a beautiful story.
It's a great story.
It's a great story. Don't touch me. See, he's touching me. You people are not seeing it.
You look like you needed it.
Okay, and now I'm gonna turn it back up now because we're gonna talk about something that was bothering me.
Zombies.
Not zombies. Bowsette, guys. What about Bowsette?
Is this like the female version of Bowser?
Well, let me explain it to you, just in case you haven't noticed, because if you're all over it's all over the internet.
No, dude, was he doing something with Princess Toadstool in the first Mario?
No, it's much weirder than that. But I say that, don't take that out of context. Anyway, in the upcoming title, Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, this is yet another repackage of a repackage of a repackage that they've just done, because that's what Nintendo's good at. Players will have the opportunity to play as Toadette, the little female Toad.
Oh my gosh, it's the whole
Will you let me finish
Ghostbusters
my story?
thing. All the girls are coming in.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. Now, in the trailer, if you pay attention, you know how Mario and the Toads, you can get a mushroom and he grows big.
Right.
Even the Toads, they grow big. Mm-hmm. Right? So, don't go down that road.
I'm trying
Peachette.
Who?
Peachette.
Why
Why did I say Peachette? Why did I say Peachette?
I don't know. I was
Toadette.
Toadette.
Toadette gets the super crown, not the mushroom, but the super crown, and she will become Peachette, which is
a girl.
Kind of a mishmash of Toadette and Peach. Like, she has the dress like Peach, she has the face of Peach, but then you look at her hair and it's kind of like Toadette's, and then you look at her boots and she's not wearing like the high heels like Peach, she's wearing like Toadette boots. So it's like they mishmash the two characters and then you get Peachette, right?
So what if you're Mario?
You don't get it, you get a mushroom. Oh. But you see that kind of line of thinking now is what the internet did. And what they did is someone came up with this little drawing, this little comic strip, and it was of Peach saying no to Mario at the altar and then no to Bowser at the altar. Like, she was going to have to marry one of the two, and she's like, no, absolutely not, and she walks away. So then they're both consoling one another as if, this is a tragic day. Neither one of them are going to get to have Peach in their lives as their wife. And then Bowser produces the super crown and looks at Mario, and Mario looks back at him. And then the next panel, you have Mario arm in arm with this darker, edgier, kind of sexier version of Peach in black leather and with the spiked jewelry and she's got horns, and I think she even may have a tail, depending on who's drawing her.
And that's Bowsette.
And fangs, and that is Bowsette. Even though people have said that's stupid, it should be like Peach-zer or Bouch.
That sounds like you just stumped your toe and you want to say bitch,
yeah,
but you said
I don't know about Bouch, but...
So anyway, we have Bowsette now. And of course, the internet wasted absolutely zero time turning this into something completely not safe for work. In fact, to make it... I
love the internet.
In fact, to make it worse, as these stories are progressing day after day after day, porn searches for Bowsette went through the roof. Because why not?
Did somebody do those?
I guess.
Oh, there's always...
I'm gonna have to search.
What is that? That rule 34 or something like that?
Yeah. Now, see...
or
but
whatever number they came up with. I always forget what it is.
But now, funny enough... you had those people, those artists who would sexualize her, draw her with, bigger assets, if you will,
more
or whatnot.
Yes.
What are those?
But then you had other people who take it another direction and actually made her kind of butch and ripped, like more Bowser in figure, but still a woman.
Right.
And you have people who take both sides and be like, well, that's more accurate, I would suppose, or whatnot.
Right.
Which is kind of cool that there are artists out there willing to go that way. However, you think that would be enough for some people, right?
Not for the internet, though.
Not for the internet, no. Now we have Bowsette.
The big ghost?
Yeah, now we have a crossbreed of Boo and Peach out there in the world. And then, because again, we're not satisfied. We're not satisfied with two.
Not.
We have to go a step farther. and come up with Chompette, which is a chain chomp and peach. So then you get into a lot of S&M chains, and it just... You see where I'm going with this? Now, God damn it.
Rip your
I'm
childhood.
looking it up.
All right. But now, as annoyed as I sound right now
It's hot.
about it, I'm not going to say... as annoyed as I sound about it right now, and everything that the internet is going on about, I actually did learn something today, and it changed my perspective just a little bit, to where I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not as annoyed about this. I am annoyed at everything that's going on and what they're doing to this thing and this character and all wherever it's going. However, I did find out that the trans community has actually embraced Bowsette and almost kind of looking at her as kind of a spokes character in video games for them. You know, because it's supposed to be a man becoming a woman in some form. So why not? And they've kind of taken her as their champion. And I thought, okay, that's kind of cool. I get that. You know, they don't have anybody, now they do, in a way. Granted, I don't know if Bowsette would be the choice you'd want to go with, but sure. Take what you got. But I mean that's cool. I'm glad that's going to happen. I would even kind of challenge Nintendo to maybe make her canon at some point if they would be so bold. But however, their comment right now is we don't have one.
They don't.
You know, no comment from Nintendo. So, and again, I'm ragging on them again. I just talk good about them. Now I'm shitting. I'm sorry.
You did say they could be assholes.
Sorry,
sometimes.
Nintendo.
It's a back and forth relationship we have. You've spurned me before.
Well, it's called the Wii U.
But anyway, that's enough of that.
That's enough of that.
It's time for some truth or trash.
Love it.
All right, I got 3.
Is there sex involved?
No. Why do you always ask that?
I don't know. I just want to know.
Work with me here. Okay.
No, I asked it at the wrong one.
Each of you give me an answer when I ask you this truth or trash. First off, Street Fighter's Ken is joining Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Yeah, I said it's true.
I would think I could see that totally.
Okay.
Didn't Ryu join
Yeah.
at one time?
He did.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
Okay. While we're on the subject of Street Fighter, a 4th Super Edition season of Street Fighter V will be released next year.
Does it make the game good?
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Next year?
Next year. Nope.
No.
Okay.
I think we're further away, but I don't know. I'm going to say no.
All right.
I'm going to say true.
Okay. I like the divide. And finally, gameplay will be seen at the Game Awards of Metroid Prime 4.
I'll say true. Truth. Because it's just time to see it, and what bigger stage than that? It's Nintendo actually going out this time, trying to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I have no reason to disagree,
Okay.
honestly, with that. I feel like it's been a while myself, so that would be a good way to introduce it.
Okay.
Are you still happy with, since it's no divide, are you still happy?
Yeah, I'm still happy.
Okay, good.
It's fine.
That's all I care about.
All right.
Story.
Time for some weird news.
Now, does this have sex in it?
No. I just have a little. Just have a little bit of weird news. First of all, have you guys seen the alternate ending of The Walking Dead Season 1?
Wait.
For what?
Video game or movie or show?
Yeah, that was just about to ask.
Oh, for a video game. We're talking about video games, people.
Okay,
Come on.
but
alternate,
shit, sorry.
Like, have I seen
No,
both
I haven't.
endings?
Have you
or-
seen what has been dubbed the alternate ending?
What is it?
I'm going to say no.
Okay. Now,
Like, I've played the game and I've done it a few times, but...
you wouldn't have seen this before now. Because after
okay, then
Telltale
no.
shut its doors, one of the developers who worked on that apparently had a very, very long night. And he needed to entertain himself. So he created this video of an alternate ending for, or at least an alternate sequence toward the end of the game. And spoilers for anybody who hasn't played Season 1 of The Walking Dead, Telltale Season 1 of The Walking Dead.
Well, it's been long enough now.
It should have been. Yeah, it should have been. So, but again, full disclosure, if you haven't played it, I'm going to spoil something slightly here, so just be warned. Anyway, toward the end of the game, you're trying to get Clementine, right?
Right.
And you remember there was a scene, I think you were climbing a building and Lee was stuck on a flagpole and he was just going to jump down, run through the zombies, and he's going to get to the building where she's at. She's being held, right? Okay, so this is where the scene starts. And I want both of you to look this stuff up on YouTube after the podcast.
Is there
Everybody
a test
else
on
too.
it? Is there going to be a test on it?
No, I just want you to, you want to go see this. Anyway, because my explaining it doesn't do it justice. So he's sitting up there, the scene's kind of playing out where he's like, I got to go do this. He jumps down in a very superhero fashion and then just starts rushing through like he's just the badass. And then he does these jumps and these flips and he's like superhuman all of a sudden. And then he starts hitting the zombies. And then one of them's head flies off. It's like half the head. It flips. Lee jumps up and has it drop on his head and jumps back down and then just starts dancing through all the zombies like, you can't touch me. You can't touch me. I'm walking through. And until he gets to the end. And then when he gets to the end, he jumps onto a car outside of the building. And as he lands on it, it flips up into the air.
The car?
Yeah. Flips up into the air, like over his head, and crashes behind him. And then they zoom in on him, and he sticks out his hands and makes the weirdest damn sound you'll ever hear.
What does it sound like?
Like, and that's it. That's it. That's all it is.
Okay, I've got to see this.
So you got to go see it.
Is it done in the same, like the graphic style, the art style?
Yeah. Everything's still intact. So that's what makes it even better.
How much more show we got? I'm ready to go see this.
We still got a little bit. So something to kind of put in your back pocket for later. Everybody else, you stay here too. You got to wait just like they did. Don't go running off. Next one I got, and this is very short. It was just, I saw a headline before I came here today, and I was just like, what? So, a Spider-Man, and this is the headline, swear to God, okay? You ready for this? Spider-Man player spots real building seconds after finding it playing the game. Now, were they unaware that New York City was real? You know, you can see these buildings in New York, or at least a good portion of them. So the headline just kind of struck me like, yeah, that can happen, especially if you live there.
Yeah.
You know, I can go and play and then come back out and be like, oh shit, it was in the game.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's going to happen. I doubt he's the first person that ever happened to. Just like that duck hunt thing we talked about last week. Don't get me started on that. You heard about that, right?
Well, I heard you guys talking about it.
But I'm serious. I did that as a kid, and they're going to act like it's new today. There was
It says it in the instruction book.
Did we not see before Spider-Man came out? Speaking of recycled news, here's another bit of weird, stupid news. Did we not see before Spider-Man came out where people were putting like Mortal Kombat footage together with Spider-Man to show like how he looked like he was breaking people's faces and slamming them down? I swear that this video circulated months ago. And now it's circulating again like it's new news.
It is new news because I have never heard of it.
Bullshit. I've seen this.
I've never seen it.
Liar!
Liars.
Furthermore, I'm just sick of seeing Spider-Man in video games. Yeah.
Well, I guess you got to play it tonight, don't you?
Yeah, no, I'm playing zombie games tonight.
Mm-hmm. Good hell. All right.
Mish the two together.
Love Spider-Man.
The next Spider-Man zombie spectacular.
They could do Marvel Zombies.
They could. Oh my God, please do
You'd be
that.
excited, wouldn't you?
Please do that.
Mesh of two things you love.
I love them.
All right, now it's time for...
I'd buy that for $1.
I love this game. There needs to be like a game show music for this.
Yeah, well, we'll get there.
Should put it in.
We'll work on it.
Now.
I don't feel like it.
Okay.
All right, so I don't feel like I have anything that I can sell you guys today because I think we've already
What kind of game is
established
this?
where you two stand.
So you had some Kingdom Hearts stuff.
Is it Fallout? Is it Fallout?
No, it's not Fallout this time.
It's Kingdom Hearts.
Since I knew that I could get you was Fallout, but there's no Fallout merch now. I've sold it to you already.
We've already bought it all?
No, this week, since I know you don't like Kingdom Hearts,
Never said I didn't like it.
I was
never
kind of
played
hoping.
it. There's a difference.
I was kind of hoping that I could sell you a Keyblade. Okay? Now, we're not talking just a regular Keyblade, but we're talking about a full-size replica of the Keyblade. Now, here's the thing. There are replicas of the Keyblade on the market as of right now. However, they will be hard to find. And if you do, you'll probably find them on eBay. And if you do that, you're going to be paying somewhere between $200 to $400 to $600 to $800, and you get the idea. You're going to be paying out the ass to get a Keyblade. But what if I could sell you today
Do you got it with you?
a single Keyblade that looks just as good as these other Keyblades and will run you for far less?
Well, no.
Okay.
I don't care how much it costs.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. It's made from EVA foam. Okay, so it's sturdy. It's 35 inches long, and it has a Mickey Mouse medallion and detachable chain that you can take off. And it's officially licensed. It looks like the Keyblade that Sora has in the game.
Are you going to go ahead and ask me?
How much would you pay for that?
I ain't buying the damn thing.
But what if Peyton is she a fan?
No.
I bet you
She's got the game and won't play it.
She won't play it.
Nope.
She just doesn't understand yet.
She don't
you wait
like-
until she gets her hands on that Keyblade and she starts swinging it around and she wants that thing. And then she's going to be like, "Daddy, I want this Keyblade." How much are you going to have to pay? How much are you willing to pay to satisfy her Keyblade
Okay, how big
addiction?
is it?
Okay. Well,
35
now that
inches.
I'm looking at
$15.
it, though, it is pretty cool.
Yeah.
$15. It's made of foam.
I mean, that's fair with the foam.
Well,
But
this is high
again, if
quality.
anything Disney puts its name on, it's going to be more than that.
High
Okay,
quality,
so it's gonna be $35.
yeah, officially licensed.
It'd be $35.
It's $40, all right? $39.99 plus
He's
tax.
like, I'm done trying to
I
sell
mean-
it to you. This is what it is.
That's what I'm saying. I can't go any lower than that.
No, because Peyton probably didn't clean her room up that week, so I can probably just I ain't getting you nothing.
Okay, fine. I'll just take my Keyblade back to wherever the hell, Disneyland.
Take it.
Yeah, see, and look how awesome that would have been. You can come. You've been the only kid there with a Keyblade at Disneyland, and everybody would have been jealous.
They'd have been like, "Put that damn thing away. I can't ride this ride with you carrying that."
Jesus Christ,
Nerd.
disappoints me, both of you.
Nerd.
Are you gonna buy it, Lace?
I might have to pass myself, only because I need to declutter my life. Not
Sure.
because it's
That's
not
what I said too.
fantastic.
Lacey, my life is too cluttered for a damn Keyblade.
Fine. All right. Release dates.
Wait, that was the only thing you tried to
That
sell?
was the only thing because I don't have
was
anything
it.
else. If I had zombie merch, I know I'd
Oh,
have
I'd
just
buy the
said
hell out of
zombie,
it.
and you'd have just been like, "Oh, give
You
me
can
that."
it's a zombie Keyblade. I'll buy it.
Okay, I'll remember that next time. I'll just put zombie on it, and you'll eat
Zombie
it up.
Hearts 3. I'll play that game.
There we go.
Well, that's
We
not
need
right.
Hearts 1 and 2 probably first.
Okay, release dates. Are we ready? Here we've got some Mega Man 11 action coming at you on October 2nd. PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Are y'all gonna play that?
Yeah, I'm interested because I played the last one. I liked it.
Which one? 10.
What was it? 10? I think I played that one and 9.
Okay. How about you, Lacey? You a Mega Man fanatic?
I am not. I enjoy my retro people who play it and watch it, but no,
That's fine.
not myself
It's
personally.
not retro when it's brand new.
It's okay.
Well,
I'm just
Fair enough. Fair enough.
sure.
Also on October 2nd, we have Astrobot Rescue Mission for PSVR, Assassin's Creed Odyssey for PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
you gonna play that?
I'm not going to play it right now.
I'm not either.
I still have to play, what was the last one that came out with?
Don't worry, don't play that one.
Origins?
I heard this.
Origins,
one's better.
yep.
This is better.
Okay. Well, we don't know that.
We do.
Well, you
know
don't
that.
know that yet.
Are you going to play it?
Everybody loved Origins. I've not really been addicted to the Assassin's Creed franchise. I played the first one and Black Flag, and that's honestly the last one I played.
See, I like Black Flag. I like 3.
I like 3.
Pirates. I mean,
So, I don't know.
I think that's the one
so
game we
mean.
agree on.
We
To me,
did.
that was the best one.
I agree.
3.
Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise for PS4. Forza Horizon 4 will come to PC, excuse me. Oh, shit. Here's one of those words. Valthrian. That sounds good. Ark,
Valkyrie?
Hero Story School for PS4, Nintendo Switch, and PC. And The Surge, The Good, The Bad, and The Augmented for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. October 4th, we had Midnight Sanctuary for PS4, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Pilot Sports for Nintendo Switch. Nefarious for Nintendo Switch. Party Crashers for Nintendo Switch. The rest of these are for the Nintendo Switch, just so you know. Animated Jigsaws, Japanese Women. Vertical Drop Heroes. I didn't write it. I should have been in the other one, but I had proof. And Jetto Miro, Hero of the Universe.
Switch.
All for the Switch. Then on October 5th, we have WWE 2K19 for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and Super Mario Party for Nintendo Switch. How weird would that have been if I'd have said for Xbox One? That'd have messed everybody up.
Yeah.
And then on October 8th, we have Bombing Busters for Nintendo Switch. And we also have our Xbox Games with Gold. The games coming out on the Xbox One. And we have Overcooked for Xbox One on October 1st through the 31st. Victor Vran from the October 16th through November 15th. They just messed me up with this stupidity. Why can't it just be for the full month?
I know.
I don't understand it. Then for the Xbox 360, but also Xbox One compatible. In fact, you should just say it's for the Xbox One. No one's playing the 360 anymore.
Wait a minute, brand new on the 360.
Yeah. We have Stuntman Ignition and Hitman Blood Money. Stuntman Ignition on the 1st through the 15th, and then the other one, the Hitman, on the 16th through the 31st. It's a hassle to read this. I'm just getting tired. Then on PlayStation Plus games for October, we have Friday the 13th and Laser League for the PS4. Then we have The Bridge. It will also be available on the PS4 as well as the PS3 and the PS Vita. Then we have Crossplay on the PS4 and the Vita for Rocket Birds 2. I don't know what that is. And 2064 Read-Only Memories. That sounds like a Japanese novel game.
I've heard of that, though.
And then finally, we have on the PS3 Master Reboot, which no one will be playing.
Nobody.
I'm really not trying to be hateful. Who's playing that? Nobody. Stop. Just stop.
I mean, I guess someone.
Maybe.
They're getting money to keep doing it.
Maybe. But I don't want to be hateful. I'm not trying to be. I'm just thinking.
I gotta piss.
Oh my gosh, man. We are about to start a game. He's leaving, and we're about to start a game. So, Lace, while we're killing time, because I'm leaving this in, he just took off. We're getting ready to start a game. And now we're left hanging, waiting for him to come back.
It always is, too.
Yeah. So, it's ridiculous what we have to put up with around here. We're going to have to install...
The circumstances, I can't do it anymore.
we need to install him a toilet right here. So he can just go when he takes the initiative.
But do you want that?
Not
I
really.
mean, you are right there.
Not
Do
really.
you want that?
No. But I mean, I'm trying to think of convenient ways to end this instead of him taking off.
Or just don't allow him any libations until
He
after
shouldn't.
the
He
show.
shouldn't have had any. He cannot hold his liquid. We've learned this time and time again, and I've had to edit him out. And we're gonna, like I said, I'm gonna leave all this in. We're gonna leave all this in. So everybody can know that the pain and sorrows that he put us through and slowed down a game.
It was a minute, and there was a commercial break.
No, it was no commercial break.
It was. I thought you said commercial break.
I didn't say commercial break. I said
No,
we're going to
we
play a
just
game
moved
now.
the microphone closer to the bathroom, and we judged you.
So, without further ado, let's play.
What the hell did you just say?
All right, so here's the game. Everybody knows it. These are PC games. If you haven't ever heard the game before, these are all PC games that are coming out very soon. We don't know what they are, and my lovely co-hosts are going to tell me what they think these games are. I was kind of being polite. I could have said, lovely co-host, and then this schmuck. But I was trying to be
I
nice.
respect you more.
Okay, so each one of you is going to get one. You got to tell me what it is. So, Lace, you're up first.
All right.
Hike Jam.
Hike Jam?
Yep. Hike Jam.
Hike Jam. So I honestly think it's just some really awesome pop music, and you're learning to hike the ball down a football field with a rhythm to the music.
I like it. Medical Verdict.
you are a medical lawyer, and it's like Phoenix Wright.
Okay.
And you have all these cases where people like doctors malpractice. And
Okay.
you gotta find them guilty.
Okay. I like that. It's a racing game.
Okay, like I feel like they just gave that away right there. So you're racing, but it's street luge. It's not what you think.
Okay.
So it's street luge, and you're racing down, I don't know, some really busy street in New York.
Okay.
Like the six corners there where the naked cowboy plays. That's where you're going. So it's death
seen
from
him.
every direction.
Fair enough. Run and get.
It's a lot like Fallout Shelter.
Okay.
Could possibly be sued by Bethesda because you just go on missions and you get stuff for your, your little area that you're trying to live in.
Okay. Gonzo VR.
Gonzo VR. Oh my God, was he a Muppet? Totally, it's a Muppet
is
simulator.
exactly what it
So
is.
like you're in VR and it's you're learning how to befriend Gonzo.
Okay.
And so if you win, he's now your best friend and you get to, frolic down the street together. And if you lose, well, it's a really dark turn and I don't want to spoil it for you.
Drunken bar fight on Halloween.
Oh my God. It actually does not happen on Halloween.
Okay.
The bar fight doesn't.
Okay.
But the story happens after Halloween. You wake up. You wake up on Halloween
Okay.
and you start having to piece together what happened at the bar fight the night before.
Okay.
And it can go like, this is what I heard, that I don't want to spoil
So
it.
it's a mystery game?
Yeah, it's a mystery game.
Yeah, I don't
It's
wanna
like Maniac
spoil it.
Mansion.
Okay. Okay. I love.
Aw, so I think it's about a bunch of tweens, and they just sit on top of the roof that they snuck out on, and they're just daydreaming about, Jimmy and the bus that day, and you've got to. But the challenge is it's like a match 3 game. So as the tweens are, daydreaming in the thought bubbles is like, diamonds and hearts and stuff that you have to time out to line them up properly. And then you get points and then you can move on to the next daydream.
Okay.
I didn't make this game, guys.
You're just letting us know
Don't
what it
shoot
is.
me.
Yeah, you're
That's
just telling.
fine.
Exactly. Like, don't shoot the messenger.
I think she's just reading the description.
Right?
Love choice.
It's a fantastical adventure set in the early 1920s in Greece. What's the name of it?
Love choice.
And you have all these different women that you could choose to go out with. And when you pick one, you have these certain decisions and it maps out the rest of your life.
Okay.
And you have to pick the best one that's going to suit you for the rest of your life.
Okay then. Wormster Dash.
Wormster Dash. Oh my God. I'm just going to say it's like one of those side scroller, almost like those mobile games where the Wormster thing is just constantly moving and you have to click at the right time to get it to jump over whatever obstacle is in the ground that he's burrowing in. And you're rushing away because it's been raining and the whole thing's about to flood out.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you got to get out.
Awkward date hero.
Okay. It's a dating sim, but you are the guy sitting by yourself and you have to bust in on an awkward date and become the hero and take home the girl.
All right. Feed the pets.
Feed the pets. So you're a farmer, clearly. And so you have to be sure that you're timing at the exact same time that the rooster crows to wake up to get out there and throw the feed. Because if they don't eat by a certain time, you lose all your animals and ergo all of your money.
Okay. Giraffe Town.
Giraffe Town.
Mm-hmm.
It's an Animal Crossing's ripoff.
Okay.
Actually, there's not even any giraffes in it. It's just the name of the town.
Okay. Giraffe.
Yeah.
Just Giraffe
And
Town.
it's a murder mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the same vein as like Deadly Premonition. That's
Okay.
what I'm seeing. Like
Ooh,
just a really
sold.
crazy ass horror story set in Giraffe Town.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Somebody
you're into these murder mysteries today.
Somebody stole the giraffe statue, and it just takes a dark turn when they're trying to find it.
Okay.
And this whole mystery is uncovered. And you find out who founded Giraffe Town. You'll see it
Okay,
later.
okay.
It comes out next week.
Gotta buy the season pass, though.
Yeah, it could be episodic. They haven't chosen.
We
yet.
don't know yet.
They haven't figured it out yet. I'm still in the early phases.
Ace Meerkats.
Oh, well, I mean, these are just the most dapper meerkats that you've ever come across in your life. And I think they're actually just forming a musical band.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is the journey of Ace and his meerkats. And I've got nowhere else to go with it. That was the best my brain would work
enough.
on that one. I wanted to say another rhythm game, but I'm like, wow, I need to like up my game today.
That's great. Zero Killed.
It's a first person. First person shooter. No, it's not.
Okay.
I'm looking at the wrong description. It is a top down kind of like what was that game you liked? Miami.
Hotline Miami.
Hotline Miami. It's
Hotline
kind
Miami.
of like that.
Okay.
And you're the cop.
Okay.
And you have to go in and take out the criminals without anybody getting killed.
Okay.
Would
I mean,
you play that game?
sounds like it would be a challenge. I might actually
yeah.
try it. Roll.
Roll?
That's a hard
Roll.
one.
So it's you start off as one little piece of trash, and as you're running through whatever town that you're in, you have to collect all of the other bigger pieces of trash to collect yourself together to be this just giant ball of trash that's rolling through, kind of like, like the snake game. You get longer when you collect the other balls.
Yeah.
You just get bigger as you're rolling along and collecting the trash.
I dig it.
Sure
Great.
It exists.
Great Hero's Beard.
Why do they name this stuff?
I don't know.
Great Hero's Beard. It's like it's hard because you can't see a picture. You need to print the pictures and hold them up.
No, that's fine. This is more fun this way.
All right.
Great Hero's Beard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're a reject Viking,
Okay.
and you've always tried to be the hero, but he never quite did it. Side scroller.
Okay.
And you collect these little power-ups as you go along in this little platformer, and your beard gets longer. The longer your beard is, the more powerful you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pixel's Guide to Staying Dead.
Damn.
I feel like I'm getting all the hard ones today. I don't know.
Like,
I
are
feel
you?
Like I'm coming up with more for his. Okay, Pixel's Guide to Staying Dead. Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure I was. You play a pixel that is writing its first novel, right?
Okay.
It's been working on this for years. It's finally got this great idea. And as it was writing through the guide, they realized that a lot of his life experiences led to some really dark places of his friend's death. And they kept trying to do seances to bring them back. And this guide is just to show you how to keep them dead.
Okay then. Girl Rugby Dash.
Oh, this is one of those definitely not safe for work, Japanese, just naked women playing rugby kind of game. That's what that is.
Okay.
I believe
It's
that
just like a
exists,
voyeur,
too.
like you watch.
Gotcha. Egg Teacher VR.
So it's Humpty Dumpty. He's finally got put back together from all the king's horses and all the king's men and decided to find another career path. And so now he is an English teacher. And so it's probably more like a spelling game for kids, right? So as the Humpty Dumpty is teaching these words and says it across the screen, he has to say the word and you've got to type in the spelling and you get points awarded accordingly. If you spelled it right.
Okay.
And diagrammed your sentence properly.
Bum Simulator.
I guess this is where you get to see how a bum lives, and you have to survive on the streets and panhandle. You have to be at a certain street corner at a certain time and do a dance, and then it becomes like a rhythm game to do the dance, or you won't get your change that you need for your alcohol.
All right.
And or food. You can pick. That's the whole game. The choice is: do I get alcohol or do I get food?
All right then.
I ate 3 days ago.
Make Route.
Make route. Oh, I'm just going to go with the easiest one here. It's like a city builder. And so as your town becomes more popular and more people move into it, you have to keep making more and more routes for people to be able to get to certain places. And then the obstacles, of course, is all of the construction that has to go down. And we're going to make all of these routes one-way streets just to throw another wrench into the mix. And you have to, figure out how to get people to work within 30 minutes or less.
All right.
Boom. Made by Tiny Build.
Right?
Achievement Dummy.
Oh, this is a VR game. And it's made by the people that made Work Simulator.
Okay.
And you are a crash test dummy.
Okay.
And you have to earn achievements from being a crash test dummy, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Can you find it?
Oh no, this is a horrible game for me because I find IRL, I can't find anything. So I think it's just one of those where it's a hide and seek kind of thing. You and your significant other will just put in some really loose background story for the reason why you two are together and in this home, and your animals take off with things, and now you have to try to find them. So it's like one of those hunt and peck mystery games where like the words across the screen where you're trying to find certain objects that are hidden within there, but every time you find it, the cat knocks it away and you've got to look for it again.
That bastard cat.
I'm telling you, man. Level 22 gets really ridiculous.
And finally, Tao How Asked.
You did this one on purpose.
I did.
What is it again?
Tao How Asked.
Tao How Asked.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm glad you have that one.
Oh my God. It is a... It's a card game.
Okay.
Japanese. Boom, done.
What kind of card game?
Oh no, you make it
You
up.
don't know the rules. It's in Japanese, man.
Oh,
It's in
okay.
Japanese. They
Yeah.
look
You
good
could have
know
at
how to
least
read
tried
that.
to make it seem interesting.
What would
like,
you say?
Maybe it's like Gwent or what's that one Japanese card game they have?
the one-
Hanafuda?
The one Nintendo made?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. That one.
Well, you didn't say
What
it.
would you have said?
That.
I mean, what would you say?
What would I have said altogether?
Uh-huh.
I don't want to know what he asked. What was he asking?
Maybe you got to find that out. The card game.
Yeah,
you gotta
that's the whole game. You got to figure out what he asked.
You got to beat him at the card game.
There's your
He'll tell
murder
you.
mystery. What did he ask? It's going to solve the whole
No,
case.
It's a card game, dude. Have you not seen this game?
No, I haven't. We're going to move on.
There's zombies in it.
Laceya has us a review
Awesome.
for Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Ooh, I've been wanting to play this, Lacey. It convinced me.
Convince you? Well, I'm just going to give you... I don't know if anybody's heard the last review. I tend to do reviews more of like my own kind of thoughts and opinions on it. And kind of leave people to decide. Well, it's been out for a little bit now, so hopefully this isn't a whole lot of spoilers for anybody. I was a fan of the other two in the series, so the writing has never been amazing in any of these new iterations of the Tomb Raider games, but I always have found them fun. I like the adventure games. If this is your first experience in the new Tomb Raider series, I'm just gonna let you know this does not give you any backstory whatsoever, guys. So if you've not played any of the other two in this new trilogy, sorry about it. You better go look up a wiki. It starts right off about 2 months later in the storyline from where Rise of the Tomb Raider had ended, which says somebody who's played all of them thought it was fantastic. But if this is your first one, you're going to be sorry. You're not going to know what's going on. The final version of this, in my opinion, doesn't really do anything to break any new ground here. As a note, I did play this game on PC. So the mechanics are exactly the same as Rise of the Tomb Raider was for me, with a few new additions. You can rappel now. So once you're attached to a wall, you can rappel down, get to different areas and in darker areas. You can go bouldering now, which was a new addition that you couldn't do in the last one, so far along as you've gotten far enough into the story to acquire said tool to be able to do so. So if you're playing this game, be sure to look around. Up, down, sideways, there's pretty much everywhere you can go. They didn't really refine the mechanics, which were kind of wonky from the other ones, in my opinion. I felt like there was a lot of fine-tuning that could have been done there, and kind of missed the opportunity to do it in this one. Although I did find out after the fact that they didn't actually finish the optimization of PC before the launch. So maybe PC players are just waiting for that patch so that it could be played as intended. But to be fair, I have played the other two, and those never got optimized either, I think, according to Keyboard and Mouse. So I'm not really holding out a whole lot of hope that it's going to be much different if they do get around to that. For example, for the wonkiness, she'll just jump to the left or the right randomly when you're trying to go forward, which I have noticed other people who are playing the game have also seen that happen. Or there's a swan dive mechanic that they put in, and I swear to God, the whole time I played the game, it only happened twice, even though I'm hitting the button. So stop with all the get good comments that'll probably happen. I know how to hit a button. I'm pretty amazing at QTEs in other games, all right? So it's just not triggering for it. But for the story itself, you do start off on your hunt of Trinity. It's 2 months after Rise of the Tomb Raider. After you have, I'm going to say spoilers if you've not played Rise of the Tomb Raider for the end of that one. But if you either killed or left Constantine to die, you did off your leader head now for Trinity at this operation. It's now opened up a gap for a successor to take his place. This time, Lara's adventures takes you to South America, which in my opinion lended for some pretty incredible looking backdrops. You go to the city Paititi to stop the Mayan apocalypse, which Laura unleashed in the previous game. The setting and narrative was based off the Mayan and Aztec mythologies, which I read they consulted the historians actually to design the look of the game as well as the people of Paititi. So in that regard, really well done. They really wanted to make sure that you were at least feeling like you were in this location and immersed you very well. Jonah returns as your sidekick. He's a little bit more involved in this one than he was in the last one. So Laura and her friend Jonah, they're now searching for the key and the silver box for the cleansing to stop the massive permanent solar eclipse from happening and to keep those items from falling into the wrong hands, aka Trinity's hands. Laura, of course, finds the tomb, ignores all of the warnings that are inscribed along the way in these walls, decides to take the key, aka the dagger, which now means you have started things in motion as Laura does every single Lara Croft game. It's always kind of funny to think about if she never got involved that none of these apocalypses or things would probably have never happened.
Yeah.
But regardless, you wouldn't have a game. So now you meet your new antagonist, Dominguez, who finds out very early on in the game that Lara now does have the dagger and is on the hunt for it. Which, of course, within about the first hour or two of playing the game, he finds in no time. He does your typical heel speech. I will take this now and this box, and I will open it up and shape the world in my image. And now the game begins. And that's about all I will tell you as far as story, because I would not like to do much more major story spoilers for you. Just know that it plays exactly like the other ones. If you're in for a good adventure time, that's exactly what it does. The game, in my opinion, is gorgeous. But again, I'm going to put it out there again. I played it on PC. I do have a decent PC. I am working with an Intel i7 and I have a 1080s graphics card, so I pump everything up to 11 because I can now. And most people that know me know I'm not as harsh on certain game benchmarks as others who might have a little bit more of a critical eye. But it is a very rich and luscious world to explore. Rainforests, colorful cities, even the collectibles have a little bit more personality to them. I did like the fact that as you find documents and relics in this one, that it doesn't force you into the examination scene to listen to you tell them about it. So it's up to you how much of the lore you really want to learn. Although that means there wasn't a whole lot to extra find in doing so. But you can choose to go into it or skip it. It's your choice. I always like to go a little bit more into the lore and listen to what they're saying about said object, especially now that I know they consulted historians to make sure it was accurate. It's a little bit of an educational piece for you as well. They did rely a lot more on the swimming in this version of the game than the other two. I am not a fan of water levels, so I'll just throw that out there, which I know has always been a mainstay in Tomb Raider games since the beginning of time. But they just seem to manage it just right for me in the other two games, whereas this one, it's a pretty big, heavy mechanic. I did kind of find myself annoyed at it because now the water isn't even safe. So you can die in there now as well. There are schools of piranhas that if they see you, you're done. There's no do not pass go. You just die. There's an eel that can spot you, but at least in this case with the eel, you do get prompts to try to fight it off. So at least I know if I got spotted by that one, oh well. Again, I'll brag. I'm good at QTEs. I killed the eel. So the devs did scatter in places to hide in seaweed, though, in the water. So just remember, you also can't breathe forever. So it's definitely a tactic of hide and go seek, a tactic I did not enjoy, but for others, you may have found this a new addition in this particular trilogy. You might have welcomed it. I did find myself wondering, though, why Laura didn't keep the rebreather from the last game, as it seemed to have been a fantastic tool. But I'll just assume it's because she lost it in her travels and we're just never to mention it again. But they did combat this by giving her the ability to last longer in the water. And as you're swimming along, there's certain air pockets that they just randomly throw into the water for you to be able to get up, get some oxygen, and then go right back into the swimming. So personally, I would have gone for the rebreather, but you can't win them all. Another mechanic they used more in this game is stealth, which I really do like how they implemented more stealth in this one, which you can tell from the other paragraph. They also added it to the water, which I told you about that, hiding in seaweed. This go round, though, you do have vines on the walls that you can hide in, mud that you can put on yourself to help aid in not being detected by enemies, because certain enemies will have on the certain gear that'll try to get the heat sensors or whatever for you if you're hiding in the bushes. And they do scatter this quite a bit throughout the game. They still only left in that she only ducks and hides when in combat. So you still don't have control over that, which I thought I had heard rumors that they were going to negate that this time and give you the control over it. But I suppose for a linear adventure game, there really isn't a need until combat is introduced. But it is a telltale sign that you've killed every enemy when she decides to just stand right up. So it's not like you're having to look around to see if you've killed all the enemies. She just stands up and you're like, well, I guess there's no danger anymore. But I did notice that there is a lot less combat in this one. So that could be disappointing to you if you enjoy a lot of the combat. But if you're more into exploration, then you're probably going to really dig that fact. I could have used a couple more pockets of combat just for myself. But they did add new enemies, which they did a nice job of creeping me out, because when you first come into contact with them, there's a couple of them that just kind of scared the pee out of me just a little bit. My chat and I called them Wendigos. It's not right. That's not what they're called at all, but we had fun with it, so sue me. They're just creepy, evil, undead things. It does have your usual side quests that you can opt in or out of. In this one, I found myself wanting to do them more, as they actually held hands very nicely with the main story. So it didn't feel like you were just randomly told to fetch this or fetch that, but more to give you backstory and to learn the lay of the land better. So a lot of the times you would find the side quest hugged along with the main one, so you wanted to do the side quest before you did back onto your main one, which I really enjoyed, that they kind of made it flow as a story nicer that way, instead of just here's a side quest that's random and then move back onto the story. There are more tombs in this one than in the others in this version of the series. There's some extra challenge tombs in this one that I found to be exactly that. They are challenging. Now, for those that are proficient in puzzles, they may not prove to be that difficult for you, but for someone like me who enjoys the adventure part more than puzzles and has a horrible sense of direction, it did prove quite difficult. But to be fair, I did stream the game. And I talk a lot to chat, so this definitely elongates the process, regardless of how fast I catch on to the puzzle. But one in particular with a ship just drove me crazy as I wanted to leave. It's dark. Lara rarely uses her flashlight when I feel it's necessarily because you have no control over when she turns it on and off. And everything just looked the same. And I swear I spent about 30 minutes just wanting to leave. I just kept screaming, I want to leave. I don't want to be here anymore. But I finally figured it out by just going in the way I came in. So good job, Liz. The map is definitely a lot larger in this one as well. A few more areas to explore, giving you more game to play. I do like this edition, though, to tailor the gameplay a little bit more suited to your play style. So with puzzles and combat have their own settings difficulty. So if you're more into exploration, you can tailor it to be just that. They also put in an immersion mode, which I found quite interesting, which you could turn on to hear background conversation of the local people in their own native language. But if you turn this off, the conversations that are had are just in whatever language that you choose for the game that's provided with it. So I thought that was really, really cool. So if you're into just exploration and you don't want the puzzles to be that difficult, you can turn that off and just explore, or you can bump them all up to make it more complicated. So I think that's fantastic. So depending on your play style. But this still follows the same path of 100%, means a lot of backtracking. For someone like me, it's okay to a point, but annoying at the same time. I find the older I get, the less important it is for me to be playing a game for 40 plus hours to finish it. But you come to a tomb, same as last time. If you don't have the tool yet, you can't get into said tomb until you've progressed far enough into the story to acquire said tomb or tool. Go back to wherever it was to get into it. So if you don't mind the backtracking, you're going to love it. There did feel to be a lot more in this one than the previous two. Memories probably could fade, though, as distance between the games turned into years. But I had recently replayed Rise of the Tomb Raider, so that's fresh for me to compare. But the first one hasn't been since release, so I might be muddy on how often they use that for a 100% playthrough. But I like to play the story and gather as I go. So going back isn't that enticing necessarily. I will go back for the tombs, but like documents and relics and things like that, I may not feel as compelled to go back and grab. But all in all, though, I found it to be a fun experience. It took me about 22 hours to complete the story along with the tombs and challenges. But again, as I said, I streamed that, so take for what you will with breaks and how much I talk and pause the game. There's nothing in this one that's mind-blowingly different from the last. So if you're just looking for another fresh story on the Lara Croft trilogy, fantastic. If you were looking for something a lot more groundbreaking to end the series off with, you'll probably be disappointed. But please feel free to tell me in the comments if you if you think that is different for you. I didn't see a whole ton graphically different either from the last one. But those on consoles, you might be able to tell me whether that's different for you or not, because again, I played it on PC, so it might have been graphically different coming from the last one on the console, depending on how they tweaked it. You could tell there were some tweaks to like the facial definitions, some shadowing had been upgraded, her hair moves a lot more realistically, things like that. Right. But the timing with the words to the mouth wasn't exceptional, which I found quite weird. I feel like they nailed it more in Rise than they did in Shadow as far as how natural the talking looked. I also find it interesting that graphics have come so far that that's now a bar that we have to use as far as if it's been improved or not, because everything's so fantastic now. But whereas before you were happy having the defining eyes and a nose, now we're pissed off if the lips don't move at the right time. But again, if you were a fan of the other two, I expect you're going to like this one. If you weren't a fan of the other two, this is not going to be the one to sell you on it. So keep that $60 and look into a different game.
I'm going to get it for Christmas then.
There you go.
I've heard this one was a little bit more divisive than the other ones. Like it wasn't, I don't know, just like they I guess like you would say a third in a movie trilogy, just the quality dips for whatever reason. And that's kind of the same thing I've heard with this, is just it goes down a notch. But I mean, it looked the same.
Exactly. Like for me, and like I said, I can compare it more with Rise of the Tomb Raider because I had just recently finished a full playthrough of that before going into this one. So the comparisons, since I had gotten the new PC, weren't really that different for me as far as the graphics. And trust me, I played them both on Ultra because I can. and I really wanted to push that benchmark and see. And that's why I was a little disappointed in the PC not being as optimized, because there would be some frame drops or like a hiccup in loading. So I when I found out that they didn't quite push out it fully to be optimized for PC on the same date as consoles, that might be why, and I might just still be waiting for a patch.
It's just not fair.
I don't think I'd be playing it all the way through again, but just to see.
We see at least there are some companies that know better to do that, because I'll at least give credit to Capcom for not releasing Monster Hunter if it wasn't going to be optimized. At least they waited for that reason. I mean, who is this? Eidos or Square or?
Yeah, it's Square
like
Enix,
another...
but it was like Crystal
something
Dynamics. Yeah, Crystal Dynamics that did it. And I know it was a different set of people for this one too. Like the other ones and the last one were involved, so that might have had something to do with it too. Because you did have a fresh set of eyes that were working on it as opposed to the ones from before. But like I said, it's not like it's not a gorgeous game. I think it is. It's just that they didn't do anything to really step up the last one in the trilogy that was mind-blowingly different to me. So,
sure.
Another fun story, but if you didn't like the other two, this isn't going to be the one to do it for you.
So thumbs up?
For me, yes.
Good. I'm probably going to play it then.
And to be fair, I didn't have to pay full price for it. So if that for sake of full transparency, if you know,
I'm not getting
that
it
might
now.
Might be muddying it for you. Well, I mean, did you like the first two?
Oh yeah, I loved them. I thought the second
Then, yeah,
one though,
you'll like
like
this
towards
one.
the end of it, I was like, just end already.
They do that still, but there's a lot of pickup moments where you think you're about done until you're not. But this one, they actually, and again, I don't want to spoil too much, but you know when you're going into endgame in this one.
Good.
I'll just put that.
Good.
They basically give you a, are you sure you want to continue kind of thing, because you're not going to be able to go back at that point.
I'm actually glad you brought that up, because that reminded me of something I heard earlier today. Did you know that this game had a different ending? An
It's
alternate
supposed to have a
ending.
different ending?
Yeah. Now,
No, I didn't, actually.
what happened, according to, like, some guy played it, and he saw a completely different ending than everyone else. And then he was just telling everyone, he's like, this is not the ending that I saw. And everybody, of course, called him an idiot, and was like, you're stupid. It doesn't exist. What are you talking about? So he went back and found out, and even filmed it and put it on YouTube. There was an alternate ending to this game.
How'd he get it?
Because he didn't have a day one patch.
Oh.
There was a day one patch that came with the game that took out this ending, and this guy didn't get it. So he got to see the original ending as
play
it
this
was.
game without the day one patch.
And
Now
apparently,
I'm curious what the original ending was supposed to be.
well, according to what I've heard, I didn't go on the YouTube and watch it or anything like that. But from what I've heard, it's almost like a setup for an entirely new trilogy. So,
Oh, yeah, they did not do that
Yeah.
for the one that I saw. Like, it was pretty definitive that we've wrapped up this portion of the series. And
so I'm guessing they did not want that out in the world, and they were just like, you know what, we're not going to do anymore, so let's cap it and be done.
Well, as far as I know, even the voice actress for Laura in this one, she hasn't signed on to do anymore. Like, this was going to be her last one regardless, so I feel like, I mean, that doesn't mean it's going to be the end in this version, but, I mean, who knows, maybe it'll be sold off and Square Enix won't be the one
Nah.
to revive it, and do something else with it. Because, I mean, my God, she should be like 60 years old by now, right? Like,
Yeah, give or take.
when are we going to see older life, Laura? Come on. It's okay.
Well, guys, that's our show.
We did
I
it.
was excited. Did you have a good time?
I had a good time.
Always.
My feelings are still kind of hurt because the zombies
Jesus
coming.
Christ.
But I'll just, I'll get over it, man. I'll just keep
Getting
going.
over it's good. I'm glad
just
somebody does.
I don't have to work tomorrow, so
So life is not that bad, right?
No, it's all right. So thank you to all of you who listen every week. Your love and support is greatly appreciated. And if you want to support the show even more, you can go to patreon.com/pencilandpaperproductions or to pencilandpaperproductions.podbean.com and click Become a Patron in the top right-hand corner. Also, if you have a topic you'd like to discuss with us, something you want to share, maybe even tell us what amused you this week, hit us up on Twitter at SuperMegaCrash, or drop us a line at supermegacrash@gmail.com. Tell your friends to look us up under the Pencil and Paper Podcast Network, which is found on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
all over the place.
Thank you so much for listening. I am Stephen White.
I am Todd Stark.
And Laceya Finley.
Join us again next time, Super Mega Crash siblings. But until then, game on.
This has been a Pencil and Paper Podcast Network production.